Welcome to the new podcast of Basically Bros. Apparently, there's not enough podcasts out there, so we've hopped on the bandwagon. The aim of the game really is just to chat what we chat on a day-to-day basis. A lot of it's going to be about just sort of guide chat, leveling up. So that kind of follows on to the first one, and it's going to be mainly about leveling up as a guy, innit?
Pretty much, yes.
Pretty much.
The aim of the game.
That is the aim of the game. So first topic we actually want to speak about is the winter arc, kind of what we're doing and kind of how it all works. So I'll let you start, Henry.
Yeah, well, obviously it sounds a lot more intense than it actually is, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
Winter
does.
arc sounds like you're hibernating for
It is a little bit like that.
It is a little bit compared to normal, but just basically just trying to sort your shit out after the summer if you've had a bit of a loose summer, which I know we're maybe not alien to.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Just mainly just not drinking's the main one in there, and then everything from there stems into getting into shape, getting your shit together, isn't it, really?
Yeah, definitely. The plan for my winter arc, like I said, it sounds more intense than it is, but it literally is a short period of time for myself right now. It's started like end of August. End of August?
Start of August, you were, really?
Yeah, basically start of August, and it's going to run until like December. And then as you get into the sort of Christmas period, you kind of just relax a little bit, enjoy the Christmas period, and then January to like, let's say April, sort of June time, you kind of get back on it. So the plan is just to lock in with work, lock in with training, lock in with nutrition, and just try and freaking level up in all aspects realistically.
Yeah, 100%. And especially if your guys had a bit of a bad summer, or you weren't in the shape you wanted to be in, or you didn't really do what you wanted to do. You weren't confident, for example.
Yeah.
Now's the perfect time to get into shape, for example, and make sure that doesn't happen next summer, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. What are you doing in terms of your sort of winter arc? We need to stop saying that so detailed.
Yeah,
So basically, what are you doing this sort of winter period? Just to kind of level up and just lock in, basically.
Just making sure nail like non-negotiables. So we're quite fond of the old steps, and we're 10,000 steps a day minimum. We've been doing
It's like 15 at the minute.
15 minutes, which is pretty good, but it doesn't even feel like you're doing it, does it?
Yeah.
But
Advice on steps, I always like this is what I try and say to clients actually, is like set a step goal. Let's say it's 12,000, 10,000 for example. But if you can do more in the evening, if you're doing nothing, just go out for another walk. Like realistically, all you're going to do is just doss on your phone on you for the evening.
Well, yeah, definitely. If you can, even if you just get an extra couple thousand in the evening, if you're not going to do anything, I know I've just parroted you then, but if you, it's better than, like I said, doing nothing. And then on the topic of non-negotiables, just getting in a workout a day, whether that be 60 minutes on the bike or whatever it is, or treadmill, whatever, just gym, walk, whatever, just things that you have to do every day, steps, walk, nailing your nutrition, etc. Just make sure you do it, non-negotiable.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, just I feel like you've got to set that sort of standard for yourself. So, like I said, we've just repeated it like 20 times, but getting your gym session in, getting your steps in, obviously hitting your calories, being good with your nutrition. But the main reason I stress this to a lot of people, especially like client-wise anyway, is that if you get to bed at the end of the night, for example, you can actually sit down and enjoy watching that Netflix series, for example. Like, I'll never watch Netflix or anything like that if I haven't hit my steps or anything like that. I've not earned it. I feel like that's a big mistake a lot of people make. They go work, you get home and you just doss on the sofa for like 5 hours. The next thing you know, you're waking up for work the next day. Why don't you just get yourself to the gym, do what you got to do, and then relax for the last sort of couple hours, isn't it, really?
Yeah, and it's the same. That's obviously in the small daily picture, but in a bigger picture, that's almost what this like winter tour arc is, isn't it? Like your Christmas time is like the equivalent of sitting and watching the TV in the evening because you've earned it. You've been good for couple months, got back into shape, got your life on track. Now you can just enjoy a good bit of time with your family or whatever. But that comes to chasing cheap dopamine, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's
a part of the winter arc actually. Just little things like that.
Yeah.
It falls inside it. Like we've got our sort of daily habits, but little things as well, like not chasing quick dopamine, not wasting money on little things. So try and actually just put your money in the right places. So health-related things, if needed.
Just don't waste it. Yeah.
But just don't waste on clothes, going out, boozing.
Drinking is the big one, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then it starts with drinking, doesn't it? And then everything around it, you might think, going out next weekend, I've worn this same jumper the last couple of weeks. I'm going to buy a new coat to go out with or something. And then whatever, you spend whatever on a night out. The next day, you buy shit food.
Yeah.
Order some more stuff. So just keep that dopamine nice and high. Keep yourself ticking over. But just avoiding that as much as possible in it. Quick fixes, which really don't benefit you long term.
Well, yeah, we always say like we literally couldn't go out right now drinking and enjoy ourselves on a night out because like I feel like that's what the summer's for. And the summer's for just being a bit more like flexible, going out boozing, probably sending it a little bit too hard. But the winter period, you've actually just got to lock in. Don't go out, because if I'm going out right now drinking, I will wake up so depressed the next day, because what have I done to earn that night out, for example?
And as well, on a night out, I know I'll get that little moment when you're to yourself, you're like, fucking hell, like, I shouldn't really be drinking in a minute, like especially if you're not got everything you should get on track. You know what I mean? But
anything more to expand on the winter arc? Kind of your sort of, how long are you doing yours for?
Well, I started a little bit later than you.
Yeah.
So you started start of August when you're in Marbella.
Yeah.
But I started maybe the 1st of September. Yeah, I'd say till December. It depends if you want to do anything for your birthday. November,
yeah, my birthday is November, but I feel like right now I'm not actually that bothered. But that is a part of it at the same time. We do say, like, if there's like birthday or special occasions, you go out and you enjoy yourself. You don't just not see anyone for a short period of time. It's just, you're just making your fitness a priority.
Yeah, it's just picking your moments, isn't it? Picking your moments when you want to spend money, drink, for example, rather than just doing it every weekend for the sake in the same place you always go. Yeah. At least, if I go out now before Christmas, I think the only reason would be for your birthday, which is a pretty good reason.
Yeah. But I feel like every guy should do this, especially.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you're in a position right now where you're actually not happy with your sort of current circumstance, whether that's like money, physique, or just general health, this is when you should try and lock in for a short period of time.
The best time, isn't it?
Like 100%, because nothing's going on.
Nah.
Like, it's fucking cold on these nights out. It's going to be like 10, 11 o'clock. You can be in that beer garden freezing your nut off. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not worth it.
Nah, it's really not. Like, summer, like you said, to say what you said a minute ago, summer's the best time to do that, isn't it? And then this time of year, nothing's going on. Why would you?
I think, especially as guys anyway, most of the people work outside anyway. So you spend the whole week working outside. You're in the cold. You're going night out, freezing cold. You wake up Sunday, you think, oh shit, I've got to go back to work, freezing my nut off. But instead, why don't you just use that weekend, use your sort of spare time to just prioritise your physique, your freaking, your health. Yes, it's not going to take away from other factors potentially, but it's only going to improve you.
Yeah, save a bit of money. That's it.
Yeah.
Save money and get in shape. We wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, definitely, if you're in a period right now where you're just not really happy with just where you're at, you should definitely try and lock in for a short period of time, because that's where you're going to see the best gain. Like, when I first started doing my sort of social media and my coaching, I had such a period of time where I didn't even drink for 2 years maybe.
Yeah,
it was years, wasn't it? Like, I'm not saying people need to do that, but the longer you lock in for a short period, like a period of time, the better the result's going to be.
Yeah, 100%. And if you can find someone to do it with, I think that's a big thing, and it helps massively. If you try and do it by yourself, like, you ain't got that person to keep you accountable with it or to kind of push you along. Like, I'm not saying we don't whip each other like fucking, but like, just someone to go out and do your steps with, someone to go to the gym with, someone to just be around and just share a similar mindset with your approach to what you're doing, isn't it?
Yeah, because our steps seem so easy, don't they?
We're out
just chatting like we are now, for example, and like it's all sort of positive sort of stuff we're saying to each other as well, isn't it?
But if I go out and do a walk by myself, it's just me and my thoughts and my headphones. It's just it feels like a chore. It feels like it feels like you're doing 10,000 steps. Whereas like we'll do however many, and it doesn't feel like a workout as such, does it? No. Doesn't feel like a chore.
But at the same time, like, you shouldn't use that as an excuse not to.
No, of course you shouldn't.
Like, people shouldn't be like, okay, like, I've got no one to train with. I've got no one to go for a walk with. Like, that is the case. Yeah, it's crap. But let's be honest. Ideal, no. But you just still got to get it done. You should never rely on. Like, we always stress this, don't we? You should never rely on someone else for your own happiness.
No.
Like, if you're trying to find someone else for your own happiness, that's when you're going to be in a bad place in life. Because let's say that person leaves you, or that person just
dies, whatever, anything.
A bit deep.
It's quite deep.
But like, well,
true, though, isn't it?
They just start to distance themselves. You know what I mean? Like, what do you do now? You know what I mean? You find yourself chasing that one person, and like, you just get yourself in a rut. You should always just find happiness from your own company. Be able to sit in a room, like, just to yourself, and actually enjoy your own company.
Enjoy your own company, 100%. And nobody's going to save you, are they? If you don't want to go to the gym by yourself, you don't want to do what you have to do by yourself. No one's going to do it for you. No one's going to force you to do it.
No.
So,
yeah, that's why what we kind of mentioned about then, what it is basically brotherhood, isn't it? Like, the importance of sort of brotherhood. So this is something I speak about all the time in my coaching. Like, you need to be surrounded by people, or either listening to people who have like a positive mindset. if you're constantly surrounded by people, maybe at work, like friends who are
Watching
just
the news.
yeah, like friends who just like all they talk about is just like degenerate stuff, you know what I mean? Or just like negative stuff about how life's so bad for them. Like life's gonna get worse for you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you just need to surround yourself by positive thoughts. Like we only talk about leveling up realistic, you know what I mean? Like a lot of my mates who I hang out with are just like, I want to do this, I want to do this, you know what I mean? But if you're surrounded by people just like, oh, life's I don't like this life, this is shit, this is crap. Like it's gonna rub off on you.
Oh, it does drag you down. It's so cliche in it, but like, or who you hang out with is like the sum of who you are.
Yeah,
But it is so true.
Yeah,
though,
the
isn't
average
it?
of the 5 people you hang out with.
Whatever it is. But yeah, the content you consume on social media and the people you surround yourself with conversations is a lot of, well, it's almost like whitewashes your brain, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
Whitewash? Brainwash?
Whitewash. I know what you meant.
Talking about badminton or something.
Yeah, I only find it strange when people get fixated or like care about like celebrities' lives.
Oh no, yeah.
Like you're trying to
base their personality.
We say
on
this.
it.
Well, we say this thing about games. Like if you're in a position where you're not happy with your sort of physique or whatever, you shouldn't be playing the brand new FIFA. You shouldn't be buzzing for GTA because realistically, you're trying to spend like an hour of your time or 2 hours, 3 hours of your time living your life for a game. Like you're using that game, whether that's GTA or FIFA, to have a fake reality of life. It sounds so horrible.
It's an escapism.
But
isn't
you're
it?
trying to escape your life, thinking you're some manager of some team, or like you're driving some Lamborghini. And like that's like, I'm not saying don't play games because I'll play games, for example. But I just feel like if you're not happy with where you're at,
Yeah.
like instead of spending 4 hours, just spend an hour after you've been to the gym.
Yeah, make sure you've done everything you need to
Like
do.
when I first started, like when I was doing my content, I was literally, I think I'd finish college, for example, go to the gym, smash the gym, and just play Fortnite for the rest of the day.
Fortnite, tuna sandwiches.
Yeah, tuna sandwiches, Fortnite. But you don't feel as guilty when you're still doing something.
Nah, you've got that sense of accomplishment.
Yeah.
Then you're almost like rewarding yourself.
Yeah,
like
I think that's what life should be, isn't it? Take it back to the old days. You're hunting for your food, aren't you?
Yeah,
you got to do something to get your reward.
get your reward. That's why I hate waking up and eating straight away.
Yeah,
it's like you're not really earning it.
Yeah,
or,
yeah.
like, or in between meals, not going out for a walk or
Yeah.
doing something. You just feel like, and that's chasing cheap dopamine. Like all comes back round to it.
Yeah.
Because you're chasing, like, say you're playing FIFA, you haven't earned it. Say you're gambling, like you're chasing something, or like just a little bet at the weekend.
Yeah.
You're chasing something which like you haven't really done anything to particularly earn the right to do that or whatever. Is it same as drinking? Like what are you actually celebrating?
Yeah.
If you go out every weekend, what have you done in the week? What have you like accomplished to allow yourself to just go and spend hundreds of pounds and just get pissed till 5 a.m?
I think chasing quick dopamine is like the biggest killer of any guy. It kills us. You know what I mean, even in summer, like like I said, I'll go out drinking more in the summer, but it definitely kills where you want to go. Like you can still make great progress, or whatever. But you're never going to be as firing in your brain. You're never going to be as determined to kind of level up. Whether that's get a job promotion, whether that's like just make your physique better, or whatever. Like you're never going to be in that position.
Just waiting until the next time to drink, innit?
Yeah, 100%. And what we say as guys as well, like guys will always level. Like we've got the longevity on our side, haven't we? In terms of leveling up. Like the older we get, if you keep in shape, the better you get. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Like us at 30, we're just firing.
You hope so, innit?
You like to think that's like our sort of peak as a guy.
Yeah, 100%.
But that only comes from training.
You got to put in the foundations like
early,
brilliant, as early as possible.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, bro, I want to go back to sort of brotherhood actually, and the importance of it. And like I said, I do a lot of that sort of stuff with my sort of coaching clients. But the main thing why I find it important is because let's say you're going through like a bad period in life, for example, or like you gained a little bit of weight, you're just not looking your best. You need someone in your corner to be telling you, like, mate, let's get to the gym, for example, start eating a little bit better. Like that's one thing guys are good for. Like when I got back from Marbs, or when I was in Marbs, I FaceTimed him. It's like, mate, your face is getting fat.
Yes.
Like I just straight, like people might think that's horrible, but he knows I'm saying that from a good place.
It only comes from my best interest.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, mate, so he's straight on the diet, you know what I mean?
Oh no, I think it was after a night out, wasn't it? I was
Yeah.
just fucking, I was honestly like this, smiling right down, chubby cheeks, puffy face. But yeah, it does happen, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And unless I didn't speak to you, you just think, like for example, the people around you are like too nice sometimes. It might be your family members because they don't want to upset you. They're not going to say can't you put on like a little bit of weight, like drinking too much? But that's why you need a good friend around you, doesn't it? Or your brother, whoever it is, to just say like, you kind of let yourself go a little bit, like get yourself back on track. Because as soon as you said that, I was like, fuck. Looked in the mirror, I was like, he's actually right. Like, I need to sort my shit out here. And then I think the weekend after that was my last weekend of drinking before I've like reined myself in for the foreseeable, for a little bit.
And that's one thing I feel like girls are not very good at. Girls will never tell their friends or anyone they know that maybe they need to. You got to say it a little bit nicer to girls. You don't say you need to lose weight.
No,
you can say, let's go to the gym together, for example. But when it comes to, I think that's if you just say, oh no, baby, look beautiful, even though deep down in your heart that they probably are losing themselves a little bit. Like you need to say that. Oh, let's go to the gym together. Or let's go to this healthy restaurant. Just little things like that. You can be nice around it.
As long as you're polite, there's ways to address it, isn't there?
And we wouldn't be around a table with all our mates like fucking hell, hen. You're looking fat.
Yeah. Fucking, you had a good summer, but. Yes, if it's one-on-one and it's like in an environment where it's just the two of you, that's no problem. And if you like, well, lads, it doesn't really matter if you're like less polite, does it?
Yeah.
It depends. You got to know your audience, and like
100%.
I wouldn't have given a fuck. I said that, and vice versa. But like, just, if you are going to point out your friends letting themselves go, just doing a polite.
Yeah, that's why you always need someone in your corner. Like I said, when it comes to coaching, even my clients, like also I know them. Some of them a couple of weeks, some months, years, for example. I always say like, all right, you're slacking a little bit now. Like, you want to be in this place. Let's change it up.
Yeah.
Sometimes you've got to be a little bit sort of obviously brutal with people, but majority, if you're just like nice and friendly, like we are, like 95% of the time, like that small percentage of being like a bit brutal, you just appreciate it. Don't you?
Goes a long way. It means more than
it means
rather
more,
than all the time. But it's accountability. Whether it is your friends, like say coaching, accountability in it.
Yeah, you don't want to be around like yes men basically.
No, not at all.
All right, sweet. So in terms of like someone who just wants to kind of get started with their like fitness journey, or they feel like they're in a bit of a rut, what sort of advice would you actually give them to kind of get started? Let's say they can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, that maybe they've tried loads of like fad diets where they just cut out carbs, or just all these sort of diets, they just feel like fitness isn't for them, they can't get in shape. What would you say to them?
First and foremost, you got to ask yourself the question, what's more important to you? And is getting into great shape important to you, or is just staying out of shape, hating yourself, eating shit food more important to you? But first you got to pick like an end goal almost, or like a target on the way to your goal to like reach in the first place, isn't it? Whether it's losing a certain amount, getting to a certain weight, or just being fitter, you got to find a goal and find the best way to reach it, whether that's just getting out for a walk every day. Like you said, you've had clients before who never even stepped foot in the gym, but has lost so much weight just from walking and just putting the fork down a little bit. Yeah. And then once you have identified your target, maybe, like you said, you might go for a coach, you might try and just research it yourself and go alone. But whatever you do, just take the first step onto wherever you want to go, whatever you want to achieve.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I feel like before you get started, sometimes you actually need to kind of look back at what went wrong before. So let's say you're a bit older, maybe like 30, even late 20s. Like, what's been like the biggest issues before? If you've tried different methods, straight off the back, I'd say to people, get help, get a coach, get someone to put something in place. But let's say you're someone who's actually just never tried. Analyze what's bad in your diet. Is it you get 2 takeaways on the weekend? Is it you literally don't leave your room? Because if that's the case, first it can just be as simple as going for your sort of walks. Going for your walks, for example. Even just like I said, just getting your sort of steps in, for example, trying to eat a little bit better. And it doesn't mean eating plain food. Like you can see all the time on like TikTok or Instagram, people make like fake away Nando's, fake away McDonald's, Five Guys.
It looks banging.
Yeah, something. There's always like nice recipes. You just got, like I said, invest a bit of that time into cooking, for example, moving a little bit more, and that's going to help you straight off the back. But then it does come to your goal. Like, what is your goal? If you want to lose 20 kg, 20 kg, 10 kg, set a sort of like when do you want to achieve it by, whether that's next summer, like someone's birthday, a holiday destination you want to go to, set it out and just put the sort of steps in place. And if you hit a bit of a plateau, you're struggling, like I said, just reach out for help then.
Yeah, pick a target and just go for it.
And don't be too restrictive as well. Like reward yourself weekly, whether that's every 1 or 2 weeks. Give yourself like don't blow your calories on one day, but just give yourself like a little ice cream or something to have like a not Ben and Jerry's, but the
little Halo top.
Yeah, or like go for a Nando's every other week. Just find little rewards. So when you do get to maybe Wednesday, you're struggling a little bit. You've got something to kind of look forward to on that Saturday.
Definitely. I'm a big believer in the best diet is the diet you can stick to, isn't it? Whether it's, like you said, giving yourself that treat once a week, whatever it is. But a diet's no good if you can't stick to it. If it's not sustainable long term, don't bother with it, basically. To round up.
That's why you should never cut out carbs, because everyone loves carbs.
Yeah, of course you do. And it gives you energy. Once you start feeling like shit, you think, fuck this, I'm just going to raid the cupboards.
Yeah.
And you just fuck it off. But if you can just keep like what you want in your diet and you can stick to it, then that's going to be the best option, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you'd rather go maybe like this all the way rather than just like up and down crashing. 'Cause you see so many people do it, don't you? They be like so good for a week, like only eating clean foods, and then boom, just go on a bit of a mad binge.
Yeah, I'll speak to people. I'll just ask them how their sort of trainings go, their diet. Like, yeah, mate, great. 3 weeks in, I've lost like a stone. I'm like, I don't want to like break their heart, but like you're gonna crash that diet so soon. That diet is gonna crash just because it's so unsustainable.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't stick to it.
No, it's not good.
Can't stick to it.
Another bit of advice I want to give people. Well, a conversation actually, a topic I want to speak about is just. I see a lot of people kind of feel sorry for themselves and their sort of circumstance. So maybe they're a little bit overweight. They try and blame it on sort of maybe their sort of family, or maybe obese, or like little things like that, which is understandable. But you can never just feel sorry for your sort of circumstance. It's like me, even in school, for example. I was like bottom sets for everything, but I could have easily felt sorry for myself. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have a rubbish job. I'll be a nobody.
Yeah.
But you just got to switch it around and be like, okay, what can I do? I can do the best I possibly can in my own situation. You do what you can do instead of just moaning about it. That makes sense.
Yeah, you've got to play the cards you're dealt, and
and
a lot of people like to do that. Then they see just their situation or genetics, whatever it is,
or even their job is, I work long hours. Like, well, the thing is, like, you've got two solutions. You either just accept that's your life, you can't do anything about it, or you accept that's your reality, you can't do anything about it, but still do it.
You still got to do something about it. Yeah, definitely. And when a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't have the time," it's another way of them saying it's not a priority, isn't it? Like, I'd imagine. I know everything seems to come back to your coaching, but like,
well, it's just that's what, like, to that, a lot of leveling up is. That's what it's about.
It all starts with getting in shape, doesn't it? So it makes sense. But when people say, "Oh, I just don't have time to go to the gym," everyone has time to go to the gym. It's not important enough to you, is it? It's not your priority. That's all it is.
But it's not even that. If your goal is to lose fat, you don't need to go gym. You
no,
can just
of course
eat
you don't.
A little bit better. You'll lose weight that way. So that's why it's never the time aspect.
No, it's not. The gym isn't the be all and end all. No. Just looking after yourself, looking after your internal health as well, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
Eating well.
But yeah, like I said, in terms of the sort of feeling sorry for yourself, you just got to look at your circumstance and be like, all right, either just let the next sort of 10, 20, 30 years pass being unhappy, or just put that bit of work in weekly and get to where you want to be. And trust me, you'll thank yourself forever.
You'll get there.
Yeah, 100%. But two topics I actually want to speak about as well, which I saw the other day, which are quite annoying, which is a little bit relatable, was someone called Spencer Matthews. He ran like 30 marathons in 30 days in like Africa. I was watching all the comments on Facebook. Probably the worst place to look at Facebook. But people are literally saying, oh, it's only because he's got all this money. It's only because of this. So like, it's just like, they're basically saying, okay, I could have done that if I had money. But it's, you couldn't trust me. Like,
no, you really couldn't.
Like, people really just try and find any excuse to say,
why they're not doing
take away from other people's achievements, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If someone else is doing well in life, it's not because they've worked hard, apparently. It's because they've been gifted loads of money, or they've got this lifestyle, so it's easy for them.
Yeah.
But everyone's got to where they need to be from working hard.
It is hard work, yeah.
You get the odd person, a bit of daddy's money, but trust me, he's probably not even that happy with his life.
Nah, it's not as fulfilling.
You'd get such imposter syndrome, I reckon.
What if he was just handed a load?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you'd still enjoy it, but
yeah. You'd enjoy it, but you wouldn't feel fulfilled, would you?
No.
So, but yeah, a lot of people, again, like you just said about, was he called Spencer Matthews?
Yeah.
It goes back to like people hating on him is people just finding a reason for why they're not doing it, innit? Which circles back to excuses and finding a reason to blame your situation, isn't it?
Definitely. And the next one was saw Gymshark post a picture or reposted some girl like Gymshark athlete's picture, for example. She was also in very good shape for a girl, like basically all but shredded. And all the comments were like, okay, this is what I don't like about Gymshark. Like, this is so unrealistic. She's edited her pictures, but people just don't like to see other people doing well. And they also say, oh, this is not like a real representation of a girl. It's like, well, they're showing elite level athletes. Like, what do you expect? What's the issue? That's why everyone's such a big fan of like promoting obesity. It makes them feel a little bit better when it's not. That shouldn't be promoted. Like I said, I know some people. It's a bit harder for other people to lose weight, for example, but you shouldn't be happy with that being normal. Like, overweight shouldn't be normal.
No,
not even in terms of just appearance, but just health wise. This is why everyone's probably dying younger or having heart attacks younger, just because processed food, you know what I mean, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And mate, I love a double cheeseburger, trust me.
Yeah,
but
we all do.
It's all in moderation.
Yeah, of course it is. Maybe we need to move to Russia because they ban genetically modified food.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, it's not necessarily promoted, is it, obesity, but it's just accepted.
Yeah,
I think
accepted,
that's the issue.
yeah.
If you ever look at like old videos of World War II, for example, no one's fat, no one's obese. Even like when you was a kid shopping through whatever, like looking for clothes when you was younger, not even a kid, like 13, 14, looking for clothes.
Yeah.
Very rarely you'd see a big person modelling your clothes, whereas now every other picture on whatever website you're looking on is some big dude or some big gal modelling the clothes, and it's like, if that's all you're seeing, you're getting circles back to what you consume on social media. That's just what you kind of accept and think's normal, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And then people start saying, "Oh, you track calories, you're obsessive," or like you've got eating disorders. Like, no, you're just being a little bit aware of what's going on in your body. That's all it is. And like,
not saying you have to track calories.
No, it's a good little tool to get started. Like, we don't do it anymore because you don't need to, do you?
Nah, because you just know. But if you just started your fitness journey, it's probably a good thing to do, isn't it? As long as you don't get obsessive, that's when it gets bad. But
definitely. How long have we been ranting for, do you reckon?
Too long.
Yeah, so we're going to do a little fun section. We're going to try and do something every single week. We just ask a fun little casual question. So it's going to be a bit of a spontaneous one. So it's going to be maybe a little bit of a pause, but I want you to ask me the same question. This is what I'm asking you. So what's your biggest ick? What's your most sort of frustrating thing that can just happen? Whether that's a girl or just... But yeah, mine, God, this infuriates me. And it's when girls wear Apple Watches like out of gym clothes. I don't even like them in gym clothes really, but just dresses, general like night out stuff or whatever. It's just when girls wear Apple Watches with just normal clothes, dresses, all that sort of stuff, it real triggers me. Like, you can go from a 10 out of 10 to a good 7. It's such an ick.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Tracking your steps on a night out? Yeah. We just walked past our heart rate. Fuck. But yeah, that triggers me bad. But yeah, I think, is that a bit of a wrap? We got any questions? Yeah, I'm all good, bro.
Covered it all.
Sweet. We'll see you in episode 2. Come on, boy.